There are hedge fund managers making $1 million an hour. You know, it's crazy, right? It's money everywhere. It's money in everything. I want to help you. Start your business today. Come join my royal family. Subscribe to Casino is the Name. Hey, yo, what's going on right now? You're watching Casino is the Name, and this video is in response to a comment that was left on one of my most recent story videos. So on that video, I said $17,000 was the most money I made in a day. And that's doing government contracts. So someone responded on one of those comments and said, you know, how long did it take for you before you received that money? And two, how long did it take from the time that you start bidding until the time that you receive the money? How long was that process? They said, I guess you have a great concept, but don't sell people on the sizzle, because people try it and they fail and they end up quitting because it's difficult. And so I wanted to address that comment and also the sentiments of selling the sizzle. So I want everybody to understand everybody's path is different. Everybody's experience is going to be different. Your experience may not be my experience may not be yours, okay? And how long did it take, if they're referring to the day that I made the 17,000, how long did it take to hit my account from that time frame? I'd say it might have taken 20 days or less. But yeah, probably 20 days, 25 days, something like that. The most was 25 days. Now, and that was only because the contract had already been going. That wasn't the very first day that we entered into the contract. So typically, you go 30 days, or not necessarily 30 days, but you invoice once a month. So if you work 30 days and then you invoice, then, you know, it could be, in my situation, it's about 20 days from the time of invoice to the time that I receive funds, right? So it's just all different for everybody, okay? There's no one way. So that check was actually, I believe, I have to go back and look. That check, I think, was $56,000. Like the total for the time frame that I had invoiced for was, I think, like $56,000. I could be, I gotta go back and look. But I think it was about $56,000. And that was my first check from that contract. Now, mind you, it took, so we didn't start at the beginning of the month. We started in the middle of the month, but we invoiced at the end of the month. So we worked maybe 2 weeks and invoiced for that. And I believe that check was, I think that check was $56,000. I gotta go back and look. I think that check was $56,000. But from the time, so we worked 2 weeks, invoiced for that, and then it was another 20 days or so about 34 or 35 days before I actually received the funds in my account. So about 35 days, I received my first check for $56,000. Now, to address the other part of that statement was, how long did it take from the time, from the time that I bid to receive the funds, from the whole process, from the time of me bidding to winning the contract, to going to work and all of that, what was that total process? And I want to say to that, again, everybody's situation is different. Right now, people are assuming that this process is a lot harder, a lot longer than what it was. I did not bid on that contract. So there was no time from the time that I bid to the time that I was awarded the contract, to the time that we went and actually did the work, to the time that I actually invoiced and received the funds. There was zero time, no time. That wasn't this process, okay? I didn't bid, I subcontracted. My first contract, we got paid that week. I believe we got paid that same week. My first contract as a subcontractor. We went out, did the work that Thursday. We submitted everything, and they sent us a payment. So the process does not have to be long and drawn out. It is all going to depend on each person's situation. Now, to have to wait 35 days to receive $56,000, is that a long time to you to make $56,000 in that time frame? Now, that wasn't all profit. I had to pay employees and stuff like that. So, but to receive $56,000 in 35 days, I'm not sure if that was the answer that the people who left the comment was hoping for. Not trying to sell the sizzle. I mean, the sizzle is the sizzle. You know what I'm saying? You know, it is what it is. It's a beautiful thing, this opportunity that we have to run real businesses. Can it be 6 months for somebody to get paid? Maybe, I don't know. But if you had a job, if you didn't have a job and you get a job and you work 30 days and you work for 2 weeks, you typically go 2 weeks in the hole. And then, so you work 2 weeks, you go 2 weeks in the hole, excuse me again. Work 2 weeks in the hole, which means that in 2 weeks from now, which is like basically 30 days, you're gonna receive the money that you made from the prior 2 weeks and not for the full month, right? So it's similar, except for the money is way crazier on this other end, comparing it to, say, if you're trying to be a traditional W-2 employee, unless you're like some doctor or lawyer or high-paid exec or something like that, working for a company or something. But typically the money isn't as crazy as what I'm talking about. And everybody will tell you the impossibilities and make you feel like things are incredibly impossible, but they are possible. One of the guys who started out working under me, you can watch that video, it's also on his channel. He was awarded his first contract. I think it was his second contract he bidded on. He was introduced to this whole process through working with me. And he's been learning things, and he's taking his hustle to another level. He won his first contract for $680,000. I just saw the payment of $125,000. Now, mind you, a large part of that is going to go towards materials, like $370,000 is material costs. But I've seen the first payment of $125,000 to cover their materials come in. Like, I've seen it transfer into their accounts. So don't sleep. This thing is for real. Don't let nobody tell you different. This thing is for real. You could become rich overnight, honestly. Now, is it the same way for everybody? No. Is there a learning curve? It's quite possibly a learning curve. For some of y'all, there's no learning curve. Some people it will be. And, it just is what it is. But anyway, I just want to come on here and address that, because I don't want anybody to think that I'm selling the sizzle. My particular situation is one where this is how it happened. And people may be expecting something different or thinking that I had a much longer road of actually receiving payment, getting some money coming in and all of that, but I didn't. I left my job to money. I left my job to get money. I was getting money the first week since the middle of last year, I was getting money the first week. They paid me first week. Being a subcontractor is a little different from being a prime. Anyway, right now you're watching Casino Is the Name. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and we out. I was always focused on the money. I started with nothing. I was born to be an entrepreneur. I'm a real estate investor. Had my own trucking authority. Multiple college degrees. Ex-military. I'm an author. Motivational speaker. Not to mention I'm an accountant. But with all the things that I've done, it was government contracts that truly made me rich. Yo, what's going on right now? You're watching Casino is the Name, and if you wanted to know how I started my trucking business, I have an ebook called Big Shot, Hot Shot Volume 1, Own Your Trucking Authority. It's a great book, 5-star reviews. The link will be in the description below. Go get that. Yeah.
Beat me up, Scotty. Me up, Scotty.
Me and her together, we just count it up. Money on my mind, I can't get enough. Don't play with my money, you don't want no beef. Cause I come from the bottom, I come from the street. When she first saw me, she say, who is that? When a man saw me, he called me a threat. I'm the one that really live with a rap. They ain't never did it, they ain't really trap. You say you want to be successful, but what's stopping you? Can't nothing stop you from being successful except for you. You standing in your own way. I came from the bottom. I ain't know nothing but the grind. You can't tell me nothing about that. I called the bus at Basin Street Projects in Tallahassee, Florida. You hear me? I used to think $1 million would last me my whole life. I'd have made that and spent that. $1 million ain't enough. There are hedge fund managers making $1 million an hour. You know, it's crazy, right? It's money everywhere. It's money in everything. I want to help you. Start your business today. Come join my royal family. Subscribe to Casino is the Name.